this, then it goes like that. And there's a point, a little bit of point on the end. And then the Mahot, the elephant trainer, he rides the elephant, and the elephant wants to control the elephant. He puts it behind his ear. It's a very tender spot, even in the human body, back here, So this, the driver of the elephant, he hooks the elephant behind the ear and pulls him. Turn right, left, is that. So it's explaining that Radharani's fingernails are like elephant goads, ankush. And they're used to control the mad elephant named Krishna. So this isn't. She's already equipped with arrows and ankush and all types of things. 35. Tarku karma. This is the art of making thread with a spinning wheel. So they get some cotton, like Gandhi, all the spinning wheels and all these things. Gandhi, Gramyo. So they get the raw cotton from the fields, and you put it on this mechanism, spinning wheel, and you turn the cotton, and some kind of thread comes out. Have you ever seen? You seen? I've seen. And then it's hand propelled. You turn it with your hand. So they make thread. So the gopis make thread. And then what do they do with that thread? They make turbans for Sham. Why else? And maybe the mandris, they make clothes for Radharani, the Sakhis. But this is Radharani's art. She's not going to use her talents to serve herself, is she? These are prema kala. These are artful expressions of love. So she's learning this. Oh, I want to make a new choli. Oh, it looks so good. I sewed it myself. She doesn't have that idea. She thinks, oh, I want to make a nice silk turban for my Sham. Tarku karma. Tarku. 36. Takshana. The art of cutting wood and carpentry. So it means cutting wood means you don't go to the lumber store. This is 5,000 years ago. There's no lumber yard. You go, give me a 2x4, give me a piece of 4x8 piece of plywood. I need 1x1, 2x1, 4x6, 8x6. That means that you take the tree, the old tree that left, or whatever, transcendental tree that left its body, and then they have to know how to cut that tree, cut off the bark with some saws, cut off the tree, cut off the outside, then you get the square inside, then you start cutting. There's a cross-cut saw, and there's one goes across the cut, one goes with the line. So you have to know which one to use. There's two different kinds of saw. One saw you go with the grain. The lines of the wood go like this, and that goes with the grain. And there's another saw you go across the grain. It's called cross-cut. Yeah, you know these things. So then the gopis have to know which one to use to cut it. Then they make the planks. So why does Radharani want to know this art? Or why is she so expert in this art of cutting wood and carpentry? Because she sometimes, in the kunjas, she makes beautiful fans for Krishna to use, for the gopis. The Sakhis will pull the fan, mandris will pull the fan, and she'll cut the bamboo, and she'll cut thin pieces, and she'll make infrastructure of bamboo, very fine, thin bamboo woven together like this, and make all kinds of arrangements with cutting wood and fitting it together. And then that will be suspended inside the kunja over the branches of the tree, like this, like some ropes, some vine ropes. And then that bamboo structure, frame, you could say frame, like you see full bungalow in temples, flower cottage, whatever they say, flower bungalow. Then there's some frame. If you see after the event, the frame is sitting outside the temple or in the courtyard. They make a frame out of very lightweight wood. They make arches, and they make this. Then all flowers inside. So what you just see when you go in for darshan, Bhakti Vihari or Radharaman, other places, You just see that Radharaman is just standing there inside a beautiful kunja, all flowers going up like this and like that. You can't see the structure underneath. You just smell the beautiful mocha flowers and see all this basic design like a kunja or like a dome like this. And sometimes they make a tunnel when you come in the temple, when you have darshan. From the darshan mandap all the way to the deities, there's a tunnel like this and there's vines like this. Very beautiful they do. So this kind of structure, Radharani is expert at making. Flower bungalows for Krishna. So that's necessary to know the art of carpentry. Vastu Vidya. You've heard of Vastu Shastra? This is the art of architecture and engineering. So I guess they design different types of flower kunjas and different arrangements. Engineering. 38. Ropya Ratna Pariksha. Ropya Ratna Pariksha. Ratna means jewels. The art of testing the authenticity of silver and jewels. You may have some item that's called silver polish. And underneath is copper. And you scrape it away. Hey, this copper. Silver polish. They do that, especially prominent in India. And then, so they have to know, oh, is this real silver? Just like there's gold polishing. So when you go in a jewelry store, they have a gold testing stone. It's black and very hard like granite. So you say, this is a gold ring, I want to sell it to you, my used ring. This is my bangle, it's worth 1 lakh. Acha, yeah, it's gold, solid gold. Oh, it's very heavy. So then they rub that, bangle on the black testing stone. The black stone. And what happens is a golden streak comes in that black stone. So sometimes this analogy is used that when Radha and Krishna embrace, looks like the golden streak on a testing stone of a jeweler. The testing stone is the blackish sham colored body of Krishna. And that gold line that streaked across the stone is Radharani's form, like lightning embracing that monsoon form of Krishna. So they, in practical world, they take this is a gold bangle, and they rub it like that and say, what's that? And underneath the gold polish is silver. So the gopis are expert at knowing bogus. Because sometimes Krishna disguises himself as a female bangle merchant, as we were saying. So he tries to sell bogus stuff. So Krishna is coming from this place, Mathura, the capital of fake. So he's trying to sell the gopis. Let me test. Hey! This is not gold bangle. You want 1 lakh, you rob, you cheater. They have to know the art of testing. What to speak of jewels. They take some cheap pink sapphire from Sri Lanka. It's pink in color, sapphire. And they put it in dye. Leave it for some time. And then it becomes dark blue next day. It becomes blue sapphire. Very costly. They sell for 10 lakhs and it's a fake. So this goes on now and then also. Obviously, there's nothing new under the sun. They were selling bogus gems and gold and silver then, and now they're doing the same thing. So this art originated, this art of detection, priksha, examining, detecting this bogus thing originated with Radharani. Then, Dhatu Vad. Dhatu means elements. Vad means, I guess it means the art. It says the art of metallurgy and alchemy. That's very interesting. Alchemy, what is alchemy? Anyone knows alchemy? In the Middle Ages it was very popular. The alchemy was a group of chemists and entrepreneurs that wanted to make some fast money. So they understood by some ancient texts, and it was told to them that one metal can be converted to another metal by combining 2 metals. So you combine bell metal with mercury. So you melt the bell metal and you put it in mercury's a liquid, the gas in a liquid. You put it in and you melt them, and then when they combine together, you get a whole pot full of gold. A pot of gold, as they say. But what happens is, when you melt the bell metal and you pour in the liquid mercury, it evaporates. The mercury evaporates in the on the fire, and you're left with liquid bell metal. So this is an art called alchemy. They were trying to figure this out. And Prabhupada on the morning walk, he says, actually, the yogis knew this art. The yogis would drink mercury at night, take rest, and wake up. And wake up the next day. They would urinate on copper coins, and the copper would turn to gold. It's on a morning walk. The tape is there. They would urinate on the. So something about the mercury's there, and that's somehow by processing, mixing with human urine, it can combine with the copper and turn it to gold. This is an art. So then, some devotees were on that morning walk. Some of the disciples of Prabhupada were involved in fundraising. I said, Prabhupada, because we want to raise a lot of money for book distribution. Prabhupada, we should do that. We should do that, Prabhupada. We should make gold that we should drink, mercury and make gold that way. And we make so much gold for the book publishing and building temples. And Prabhupada was quiet and he said, first you drink mercury and survive. If you put a drop of mercury on your tongue, then you're finished. So they knew the art. And what about, there's someone else in recent time that was also making gold. In a very magical way. 500 years ago, there was a famous alchemist. Mahaprabhu, the alchemist. What was he doing? No, he was turning something to gold. We're talking about making gold, yes? So the yogis can make gold from a copper coin by drinking mercury and processing it. So now I said, there's someone else that made gold 500 years ago. It's Gauranga, that's obvious. He's the most famous person of 500 years ago. It's my neighbor. Jagannath Mishra left this world. And Shachimata, she was speaking to Nimai one day. She said, oh, Nimai, we have some shortage of money in the house. Because he hadn't started teaching Sanskrit. He hadn't gone to East Bengal and opened up a Sanskrit academy and earned money there. And his wife was Lakshmi Priya was in Mayapur. There was some time when there was lack of money. He was young. So then Nimai said to his mother, give me some imli beej, some tamarind seeds. So he took 5 or 6, 10 tamarind seeds. And Gauranga, he went outside and he just held them in his hand and he went around the house and spent some time in the yard and forest, whatever, Ganga bank. Then he came back and said, oh Mata, oh Janani, Deko. And he opened his hand. It wasn't some ashes or this or that. It was the 10 tamarind imli beej, 10 tamarind seeds that she had given to him. He turned it into gold coins. Some Mother Shachimata, she was worried, oh, my son has become a chore? Because they were telling my father, Nilambar Chakravarti, his father or grandfather? My grandfather of Sachi. My father was telling me he did his chart, and he said in previous incarnations he was Krishna, and he was a thief. So now this Krishna has come as Sachinandan, my beloved son. Now he's starting to thieve again, steal. That's all right if you're an Abhira and a Vaishya. But my son is a Brahmin. They can't steal. Vaishyas sometimes steal and lie, this, that, they do. So she was very worried. Oh, Nimai, I'm worried. Where did you get these gold coins? No, it's God's mercy, So this is another example of someone who knew the art of alchemy. Turning tamarind seeds into gold. Now that's pretty amazing. Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Krishna Lila goes to Gaur Lila. Gaur Lila goes to Krishna Lila. When Krishna Lila becomes too sweet, then it spills over and becomes magnanimous, an audarya. It spreads. When Krishna Lila becomes so concentrated and the cup fills and fills and fills with ras, madhura ras, then it starts leaving the container of Braj, leaving the container of Radha and Krishna Prema Lingana. It starts flowing to all the devotees. That's Audarya Lila. Then we catch that river of mercy, and then it takes us to the ocean of Ras. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Number 40, Mani Rag. Rag means color, Mani means Mani Rag Gyan. The art of using dyes to alter the color of precious gemstones. Oh, that's very good. Radharani learned the art of finding out which is a bogus stone. Then she also learned the art of making a bogus stone. Someone brings her a blue sapphire, a Neela, and then she says, "Hey, this is bogus." And then she took some pink sapphire, some cheap sapphire from Rajasthan or whatever, and she knows the art of dyeing. Hey, very good. This is very nice. And Akara Gyan. This is Akara Gyan, means the art of mineralogy. Metallurgy is something else. Metallurgy and alchemy. So we see that some of these, we say mineral pigments. Have you ever heard this term? Krishna's face was decorated with mineral pigments from Govardhan. Because there's Gairika. There's one type of rock called Gairika. Gairika is in India, I think they know, you maybe know. Gairika, you can buy it here in the shop. It's a rock, and this is what the Mayavadi sannyasis use to dye their cloth. That kind of reddish color, deep reddish color. That's Rakta Vastra uses Gairika. And that's used for coloring. And that's, if you eat that, it's poisonous. But for coloring, it's very good. So Radharani would know for making, coloring, dyeing cloth. Different rocks are used for dyeing cloth and for the face. So this art Radharani knows. 42. Briksha Ayur Ved Yog. Briksha Ayur Ved Yog. The art of gardening and cross-breeding plants and trees for the purpose of obtaining Ayurvedic medicines. So Ayurveda, you've heard of Ayurveda, the science of Ayu, life. And Briksha means trees, plants and trees. So they were expert at growing trees and then even cross-breeding trees and plants. Why? To produce Ayurvedic medicines. So Radharani is also a Vaidya. What's the best medicine in Radharani's medicine shop? What is the best medicine in Radharani's medical shop? No. That's a category. There's many medicines. No. He receives the medicine. Huh? Adara Amrit. The Adara Amrit means the best medicine is the taste of Krishna's lips. Amrit means nectar, Adara means lips. Adara Amritam. "43. Mesh Kukut, Lavak, Yudav Siddhi." Now this is a very interesting one. It's a very common phrase in my tapes. Very interesting. Radharani is expert in the art of training rams. What is a ram? Male goat, isn't it? Male goat, ram. And cocks and grouse, which is a type of duck. Cock is, the rooster, no? Rooster, male, chicken, or whatever. So she's expert in training them for yudhya, for sport. Because in a village, they don't have cricket matches and football games and all these type of things. They have wrestling, but they also have this. maybe heard, especially the kings, they would train these two roosters to fight, and then they put them in some box like a arena. Everyone places bets. Oh, the brown and white rooster will win, or the other one. Whose rooster will beat up the other one? Cockfight. It's called cockfights. So Radharani is expert at this. So how she would use that in Krishna's service, that you'll have to see in your own meditation. The only thing I can understand is if you're expert at training rams and cocks and grouse and all these, chickens and goats and the male chickens and goats and this grouse means like some kind of bird or something, ground bird. For fighting, we see in Govinda Lilamrita, Radharani uses her expertise in controlling these roosters because Vrindadevi sends one rooster, one cock or rooster into the kunja in Nidhiban at about 4:45 in the morning because the sky is getting something like light coming. And Vrindadevi is very nervous that Radha and Krishna aren't the least bit interested in leaving that kunja, Nidhiban, in their happy repose of loving embrace, sleeping on a flower bed. So then she says, hey, rooster, go there. Because she sent so many cuckoos and quail and cuckoo and parrots, and they sang so sweetly. It was like lullaby to deepen Radha and Krishna's pastimes of intimacy. They weren't disturbed; they were rather pacified and relaxed by that. So Vrinda thought, well, this is not working. So I have to send another kind of bird. So she sent in a rooster. Then the rooster, what did the rooster do? He made the sound that they make, caw, 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 like that, caw, 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 like that. Cackle, coddle, do. So that he just raised up on his back leg, or his back legs, or whatever his legs. He raised up like this, and he started flapping his feather, ha, 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 ha. And then Radharani heard that, and she woke up. She was startled when the cuckoos and the other birds were singing. Radharani was not disturbed. She was rather, this is nice background music. Like in the malls, they have all this background music, so you buy lots of things. Background music in the shopping malls. It was like background music, very soothing, very comforting, and very encouraging also, in different tunes or like that. So when she heard this cacophonous sound of this rooster, she woke up. What is that? Oh, hey, rooster. Hey, rooster, go coo in hell. Go to hell and make your sound. She very forcefully, vehemently, she's like, go to hell and make your sound. Choop. The rooster, Morgi Admi. Morga. Morgi Admi. Morgi is female, Morga is masculine. Huh? So she said, hey, Morga, choop. No, put gaya, go to hell. How do you say go to hell in Hindi? Narak jao. Huh? Narak me jao. Hey, Morga. Hey, Morga, chup karo. Narak ke jao. Hey, chicken, go to hell. So the chicken froze. He didn't move. And then Radharani said, very good. He's gone to hell. And then Premalingana. So this is how she utilizes her art of training roosters and goats, rams to fight or to get lost or to be quiet. Number 44, Shuk Sharika Prapalana or Pralapana. Shuk Sharika Pralapana. This is the art of teaching male and female parrots how to speak and hold conversations with people. And these parrots in Vrindavan, they can say a lot more than Polly want a cracker, which is a general phrase that they use in America. That one-liner. It's a one-liner they train the parrot. So all this Daksha and Manjubashni and all these parrots are trained up by Radharani. How to hold conversations with each other. The male and female are taught how to converse with each other. Why? Because Radharani's teaching the parrots how to have conversations, how to glorify my Sham. And then by teaching them how to glorify Sham, they automatically learn how to glorify Radharani. So then, when Radha and Krishna are in Nikunj Leela, this is in Madhyan Leela in Radhakund. Then Krishna sees a shuk or a shari in a tree. Oh, speak something. He didn't teach them. Krishna didn't teach them the vad or conversation. But he's knowing everything. He's all-knowing. But he didn't teach them. Radharani taught them. Oh, shuk, or Radharani says, oh, shuk, speak the glories of Krishna, or speak the glories of Radha. Then they speak so beautiful Sanskrit shlokas about the rupam of Krishna, the form of Krishna, the form of Radharani, the qualities. So where they learn this art of conversation, and where they learn this all from, how the male, Shuk and Sharika, Shuk Sharika Sambad, the talking, Pralap also means the talking. She taught them how to speak and hold conversations with people. What people? With her and the gopis and Sham, not any people. This is a very interesting art. Cleaning the skin with perfumed lotions and using ointments for healing. So Radharani knows this art of skin care because sometimes when Krishna goes to battle, he gets injured. He incurs some injuries in the battle of Eros. Battle of Eros means Kandarpa Yudhya. So he incurs some injuries to his skin, to his chest or here and there. So then Radharani prepares some ointments and she applies them there and then they heal very nicely. And moreover, they're disguised because those ointments are mixed with kasturi. Kasturi is a shamish, blackish, sham color ointment. So later, when Krishna returns, so he may have so many scratches as that, but most of them she disguises. She covers over with these ointments, skin lotions, and special skin preparations. So later, when Mother Yashoda wakes up Nandalal in Nandagown, and she says, oh, my Lala, and she won't detect these scratches. And sometimes she may, by chance, if Radharani forgets, Yashoda may see a scratch. Oh, what is this scratch? And Madhamangal, he says in Sanskrit, but the word he says in Sanskrit can mean gopi or gopa. It can be taken as a feminine or masculine. So he says, oh, Yashoda, I know how those scratches are there. That's done by the alibis, by the gopis. And then Krishna looks at Madhamangal, shut up. Be quiet. What are you saying? But Yashoda, because she's not in Madhura Bhav, she's in Vatsalya Bhav. So what can she understand? She can understand Dasya Rati. She can understand Vatsalya Rati, Sakya Rati and Vatsalya. So she thinks that, this is her Bhav Dristi, she thinks, oh, these scratches on my Nandalal's chest, on his Vriksha, Vaksha, they're done by Sudam or Balaram or Sridham. Oh, these boys are wrestling too ferociously. They're not taking care of my Lala. Oh, Krishna, this is very bad, and she kisses him like this. So Radharani is expert in this art. And so are the Sakhi Manjaris expert. Because Radharani also engages in this very terrible and drastic, horrible warfare. This Kandarpa Yudhya. And sometimes she gets scratches or different skin marks, and the gopis are expert, mixing kunkum and saf, keshar and kunkum and getting different colors to make it this nice golden tone. It's like we have toners in our face is all white, We put some little red there. Or we put some blue up out of our eyes. See, it looks so nice. They're making different colors. So the Radharani, they want the proper toner on her skin. They call skin toners, toners, all these things. So they make it so they can cover over, disguise and hide Radharani's wounds from the war. So Radharani teaches, she knows this art, she uses this art to serve Krishna, and the Mandris and Sakhis know this art to serve Radha. So this is 46. Kesh Marjana Koshala. Kesh, Keshava, Krishna, hair. Marjan means cleansing, and Koshala means artistic or expertly. Kesha Marjan Koshala. The art of expertly arranging the hair, which includes coloring the hair and curling it in various ways. Continue to glorify Radharani's Kala, her 64 arts. We heard yesterday how she's expert at arranging hair, Kesha Marjana Koshala. Arranging hair, dyeing hair, curling it in various ways. 47. Akshara Mushtika Katan. Radharani's expert in speaking silently with sign language. We were giving that in class one day. But that doesn't necessarily mean like the modern type of people that are deaf and dumb. Sign language means speaking with the corners of the eyes, speaking with the corner of her smile. Eyes can speak so much. Face is the index of the mind. Kanjana Akshi. Kanjana Akshi Radha. Kanjana means wagtail bird. So Radharani's mind is disturbed by Krishna's flute, and her eyes she may say, I'm not interested in him, and her eyes are going like this. Lita says, oh Kanjanakshi, if you're not interested in him, and you say his flute doesn't have any effect on you, how come your eyes are going do 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 do? So the eyes are giving signs, sign language of the eyes. That's all symbols, signs. I don't think it's so much like they communicate like this and this and that. That's 46 or 7. Then this is 48. Hansha. Mlechita Kutarka Vikalpa. The art of making up language spoken in the indistinct, ungrammatical manner of barbarians. So I guess Radharani speaks some English, because English is called Mlecha Bhasha. Mlecha means meat-eaters, Gnostics, Pashandis, Anaryans, those that don't follow the Vedic culture. They speak a language. So the primary language of the Mlechas around the world is English. So they're considered barbarians. We former barbarians are now vegetarians. Barbarian, a vegetarian, something we're tarrying. Now we're tarrying on the path of bhakti, running on the path of bhakti, tarrying. So what that is, I guess it means that when Radhika wants to communicate with the Pulinda women, they're not exactly mlechas per se, but the women of the jungle, barbarians, Adivasis, etc., then they have their own language, which may not resemble much of Brajbasa or whatever, Pulinda women. So Radharani has to know how to communicate with them. And sometimes she sends one of her mandris to go bring one. When she's playing Pashakela at Radhakund, then Krishna's not playing fair when they're throwing dice and playing the board game. So they're wagering. Radha and Krishna challenge each other. If I win the throw, if I win the dice, then you have to give me your body parts. and if you win, you can take my body parts. So Radharani said, this is not a fair wager. Whether I win or I lose my body. If you win, you take my body, and if I win, I take your body. So then our bodies, where do I win here? So listen, I'm going to call one Palinda woman from Govardhan Forest. She will sit here and take my place on the wager. So when you win, you can have her and enjoy to your heart's content. And Palinda women, their noses are like flat and big lips and bones in their ears and stuff, and they're really Adivasis. Now, when she dispatches some Sakir Mantri to go get one of those Palinda women, they have to know how to speak to them. They have to know the language of the Adivasis, Adivasi Vasha, Mlecha Vasha. So then Radharani, she trains them and says, look, you go bring this Palinda woman and you tell her like this and that. So Radharani is expert in this art. Mlechita Kutarka. Kutarka means, Tarka means argument. Like bad arguments. Isn't it? Kutarka. Tarka Pradishta. Yeah. Tarka means logic. Usually it's translated Tarka Pradishta. Translated as, Tarka Pradishta. So she's saying here that she's expert at arguing in varieties of mlecha ways. 49. Desha Bhasha Gyan. There's more language arts. Radharani is expert in the art of knowing provincial dialects. And we see that people that live in England and London, they speak what is known as English. And they think that that's the way, that language. If they go to Scotland and they meet some Scottish people who are also speaking what they call English, they cannot understand one word they're saying. They speak a dialect in Scotland called Cockney English. It's like, what did you say? Hey, what? Come on, man, I'm British, you're British. Even in the same country, we see people can't understand the dialect. Even the same languages. English and dialect means a variety of the same language. It's called dialect. Like in Russia, a vast country. Are there some people in Russia that speak a Russian language you can't understand? It's all more scientific, systematic. Not so, really barbarians up there in Scotland. Russia is like Vedic culture. So much, rivers are named Krishna River and this and that. There's so much Vedic culture there. There's one devotee here, he's done a lot of research about Russia and the Vedas and Vedic culture in Russia. He was making some kind of website or something about that. So it's quite a very connected country with India and Veda. So then she knows that art of provincial dialects. So what's proof of that? And when she appeared in another form. Gauranga! Jorse! Gauranga! 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 So when Mahaprabhu, Rasraj Mahavav, Rasraj Sri Krishna Mahavav Surupini Radha, when he returned from East Bengal, and he was teaching Sanskrit there, then he was meeting with his Brahmin friends. He said, do you know how they speak over there in New York City? Are you having oil in the car? Oil in the car? And in New York City, they have a particular accent. And Boston also, they have an accent. So, oil means oil in your car. And you check your car for the engine oil. They say, oil in the car? This is how you think. So when Mahaprabhu came back after teaching there to Mayapur, Navadvip, then he was imitating their dialects of these people, and everyone was laughing, making fun, because they're all proper Brahmins. And of course, he was teaching Brahmins over there, but they had such an unusual, crazy dialect in Bangladesh. So they were laughing. It's in Chaitanya Mangal and maybe Chaitanya Bhagavat also. So this is Radharani. Is it not? Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanya. There's no difference, Radha and Krishna and Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu learned the art, and then Radharani realized it, or Radharani learned the art, then Mahaprabhu realized it, or they both eternally know the art. They both eternally know the art. Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked the question, who came first? Radha and Krishna or Mahaprabhu? He said, this question you can't answer. Because they're eternally one and eternally two. Oh no, Krishna came first, 5,000 years ago. Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago. Acha. Wrong. So, this is that. Number 50, Pushpa Shakatika Nirmiti Gyan. Pushpa Shakat. You heard of Shakatasura? Who is Shakatasura? Cart demon. Shakat means cart. It was a mystic yogi who entered as a ghost in a ghostly subtle body inside a wooden cart, packed with urns of different types of urns and brass pots and everything being stored there, and they would fill those up and take them for distributing or whatever. So there was a function of Krishna's. It was actually this Leela of killing Shakatasura's demon took place in Uttana Ekadasi. Uttana means when you stand up. So when a baby comes out of his house for the first time, there's some puja yoga, it's called Uttana. Utto in Hindi means get up. So when Krishna was lying on his back or this or that, whatever, so they took him outside. And then they were celebrating this function. Everyone was dancing and singing and all Brahmins were doing puja. And then they wanted to let him rest, so they tied some saris together underneath this cart, Belgadi, wooden cart, made a hammock. You know a hammock? Like this type of thing, between two branches of a tree or something. So Krishna's there, like you see these Rajasthani babies sometimes, these gypsies. They have their little cart and they put a little sari under it, and the kids lying in there, and they're just pushing them and making something at the same time. They're carving something, and every once in a while they push the kid, and then they make some knife or hatchet top or something. And then the kid starts making noise, and they push him. He goes, "I've seen it so many places." So Krishna was under there like that, because that basically the Abhira class, the Nanda Maharaj, his family was also nomads. Of course, much higher than those gypsy type people. But they would sometimes be in Barsana, sometimes living in Kamivan, sometimes in Gokul, sometimes in Shatikar. They were moving. They were nomads. They would establish some palace, or their great-great-grandfather had a palace in Nandagram, so they went there to settle. They're pretty much on the move. I mean, by the time Krishna was 10, how many places did he live? He lived 10 years old, and he already changed his house 3 times. Because in 10 years, Krishna's first house was where? Hello? Gokul. His second house? Chatikar. His third house? His fourth house? Mathura. Did he live in Mathura, or he just floated in the sky? He went there when he was 10. So this is Krishna. So anyway, this particular art, this Shaka demon, so Krishna was taken out there, and then the demon tried to crush down on him just like this and squish him, and then Krishna kicked his poop with his legs and flew off. It's called Shakat. So this is Pushpa Shakat. Pushpa Shakat Shatikika Nirmiti Gyan. The Radharani is expert in the knowledge of building miniature carts with flowers. Miniature carts with flowers. Why so? No, not for building Jagannath. That's not a miniature cart. Shakat, it says Shakat Ika. Shakatik means little cart. Why? Because in the Puranas, there's some festivals called cart festivals, Rath festivals. In Kartik, there's a Rath festival. Not Kartik, not Jagannath. And this festival, one is supposed to take their shalagram or take their deities of Gopal, make a little cart and pull it around here and there. This is a festival. It's called Rath. Radha Krishna Rath. You'll see it on all the calendars. It's in Kartik. I forget when exactly. So Radharani, they had their deity, they had their family deity, and they had their Vrishabhanu had his deities. Nanda Maharaj. So she would make these little carts. This is our understanding. She would make these little carts to celebrate these festivals, and then they would put the deities there and just pull around the living room or deity room. So they're miniature carts. Yes, yes. Just like she knew Shanji. These are all things that are done in a village. In the village, they follow all the yamas and niyams of the Vedic culture, even to this day, quite a bit. So this is Nara Leela. This is all the human pastimes of a gopi and Braj 5,000 years ago. So how that goes on up there in the spiritual world, because this art is also used. So I guess somehow it's some kind of festival they have, where they build miniature carts because they can be small, and they cover them with flowers. And I don't know what they do. Somehow Krishna is served with this miniature cart. How, I don't know. Can't say. Can't see it. I'm just giving some reference point for what what I know in today's culture. The Yantra Matrika, the science of drawing mystical diagrams for worship or for projecting powers. Everyone's heard of Gopal Yantra, Kam Yantra, this different yantras. So people use. So she knew how to draw these yantras. Lakshmi Yantra, they're very elaborate. And they can be worship those yantras and do puja and chant mantras so many times. Then that copper plate, the yantra is usually carved on a copper plate, or also can be written on the ground. And that copper plate becomes charged with the vibration of the mantras and the pleasure of the deva or devi that's propitiated through that yantra puja. Then that yantra itself generates power, great power. So she of course, she would do these yantras. And why would she do those yantras? She would do Gopal Yantra. Gopal Yantra is a female and male symbol. A vertical pyramid vertical pyramid going up and triangle going up, a triangle going down. The vertical is masculine and down is feminine. This is the Yoni Mudra. And for Durga worship, it's called Yoni. It's a mudra. It's like we do mudras, Kurma, Stapana, Kurma mudras, and Vamsi mudra. All the pujaris, we learned all these things. 75, they introduced all these things. Jayatirtha, Prabhu, we introduced all this archan, the actual very detailed archan, which came much more later also. These are mudras. This is Venu mudra. Looks like it, no? Like in the Ras Leela, they go like this. So now those two pyramids are surrounded by 8 petals, surrounded by a lotus. So Radha and Krishna are in the center of the lotus of Braj, or the center of the Yoga Pit, and they're surrounded by the 8 Sakhis. This is the Gopal Yantra for worshipping Radha and Krishna. So Radharani would draw that so she could attain the association of Krishna. So this is very useful. Science of drawing mystical diagrams for worship or projecting powers. 52. Dharana Matrika. The art of preparing potent tabij or amulets worn for protection or other purposes. 53. Samvacha. The art of conversation. I guess this is... Women have always been good talkers. Women are famous for talking. Of course, now everyone's talking, cell phones. But Radharani is, of course, the original Shakti. She's Samvad or Samvachya. She's expert in the art of speaking or talking, conversation. And sometimes this art, the 53rd art, is referred to as Sampatyam, the art of splitting hard substances such as diamonds, into smaller pieces. Well, that's easy. When Krishna is hard-hearted, when Krishna shows a hard-hearted mood towards Radharani, then she acts in such a way to split his hard heart into pieces. And he comes and submits himself and begs for her forgiveness at his feet. At her feet. He begs her for her forgiveness. So this is actually called the science of gem cutting also. You take a raw diamond from the earth, and if you don't cut it right, it just becomes dust. It's so hard. A diamond, if you don't cut it right, it just becomes worthless. So the art of cutting gems is not so easy. That's why all over India, and even all over the world, the Rajasthani kings who were so wealthy and so fond of gems and jewelry, they brought all the best diamond cutters and stone cutters from all over India to set them up and gave them houses in Jaipur, so that they could. So many gems and jewels are coming from Rajasthan and other parts of India, Manipur, etc. Manipur. But the art he wanted all the best diamond cutters and gem cutters living there, so he could oversee them and they could provide all the best quality diamonds and jewels and gems and things for the king and the queen. So even today, the largest number of gem cutters in maybe the world is in Jaipur. I forgot. So that Radharani knows that. 54. Manasi Kavya Kriya. That's pretty easy. The art of composing poetry within the mind. That's one of the 26 qualities of a devotee, is poetic. He's poetic. So that right in her mind she can compose poetry. And you see the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, when they were writing, they didn't have cut and paste and erase and retype. They had a dry palm leaf. And they had a stylus, an iron stylus. And they would write in that palm leaf, and you couldn't delete it, rewrite it, delete it. They would write. And if you see the palm leaves or the writing, samples of the writing in Vrindavan at the Research Institute, they're not crossing anything out. Like we may write by hand, oh, that word's wrong. And we work out by hand, and then we say, oh, now I'll write it correctly. So the first time when they wrote whatever they wrote, first time and every time it was flawless and perfect in composition. So that means they have this quality. Rupa Goswami is Sri Rupa Manjari. Sri Rupa Manjari is Rupa Goswami. Rati Manjari is Raghunath Das. Jiva Goswami is Vilas Manjari. So they had learned this art from Radharani. And when they came in Gaur Leela, they were exhibiting this art also. Composing, because all their books are poetry. We read in the morning Rupa Goswami's Astakams, Yugala Kishore Astakam, and so many Astakams. They're all poetic. I'm going to change this line. They got one palm leaf and composed in the mind. Manasi Kavya Karya. And Rupa Goswami's handwriting was so neat and systematic and orderly. It looked like a row of pearls. Very straight and very beautiful handwriting. 55. Kriya Vikalp. The art of designing the performance of rites and ceremonial functions. Also the art of good management. That of accomplishing many things at once. It includes foretelling events by studying omens. So Kriya Vikalp means many things. You can read omens. For example, if a crow lands on the east wall of your house at sunrise, this east wall, and it goes caw, 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 that means on that day some guest will come from a faraway place. Unknown, or someone will come from Delhi or Bombay or whatever. They will come. And there's books on this thing also. So in the village, a lot of this knowledge is handed down by tradition, because they live with all these animals, and all these animals and birds are actually messengers of different demigods and carriers for different demigods, so they convey teachings, and knowingly or unknowingly, for the human being to more peacefully follow his life. So Radharani was was very good at telling omens. So some bird would come at a certain time, and you see in the Govinda Lilamrita, when the Sakhis are walking with Radharani, they say, "Oh Radharani, you see that hummingbird? That hummingbird, see the hummingbird in the lake? Hummingbird goes like backwards type, flies backwards or something like that. It flies like this instead of like this. Usually the head's forward and they go like this, right? Usually you fly with the pilot's in front of the plane, no? You don't turn the plane back around the other way and fly like this. So that hummingbird, the pilot's in the back and the wings are in the front. So he flies kind of backwards type. I've seen it in the garden, in the rose garden. They have here in Braj also. So when was Lalita, or I forget who, Tungavidya, I think it was Tungavidya. She was walking with Radharani on the way to Radhakund. She says, "Oh, you see that hummingbird flying, hovering over the lotus flower? That means that Kanjanakshi Radha will land on the lotus flower of Krishna's face. Krishna's face is the lotus flower, and Radharani's eyes are Kanjanakshi. So she's saying this is an omen, which it is. It means you'll meet someone intimately with someone, like this. So the gopis know this art of omens. When you start a journey, if dogs come around your rickshaw or taxi, especially in Vrindavan, you go ha 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 ha, and start making noise, then you should go back in your house, because you're going to have difficulty in your journey, some accident or something. Just a dog. There's so many dogs in the neighborhood here. So if you have a rickshaw or taxi and you're going out, many dogs. It's not nighttime. It's not midnight. Just the afternoon. They come around. Ha ha, hoo ha ha. So that means they're like barking at your wheels. They're barking at your wheels of your rickshaw or taxi, and so that means don't go. Go back in the house. Go back in the house. Drink a cup of water. Chase the dogs away. Throw some chapatis in the field. And that by waiting that few moments, then you miss that accident that you would have met by destiny. So this is the art of Radharani, those foretelling events by studying omens. 56. Chalitaka Yog, the art of playing tricks and practical jokes. 57. Abhidhan Kosha Chando Gyan. Kosh, you heard of Amara Kosh dictionary? Amara Kosh. Abhidhan Kosh Chando Gyan, the art of using dictionaries, word usage, poetic meters, chando, and lexicography, which is Abhidhan. 58. Vastra Gopan. Vastra Gopan, the art of concealing the true nature of a cloth, making it appear as made of a different or superior texture. For example, one may mistake a coarse cotton piece of cloth to be a piece of silk. Well, that's a pretty interesting art. It'd be good if you ran a cloth shop. You could make a lot of money that way. You could sell cheap cotton and say, "This is pure silk." People come in, "Oh yeah, it's pure silk. It costs you 10 rupees to sell for 10,000. I don't know exactly how she would use that, but it's there. Dictionaries, the art of using dictionaries, word usage, poetic meters. Well, that's obvious when she speaks in riddles and speaks with Krishna. They're so poetic and so expert. Vastra Gopana, how to conceal the true nature of cloth. 59. Dyuta Vishesh. Dyuta Vishesh, the art of knowing specific forms of gambling. Well, she's an expert gambler. And that's proven in Radhakund. When she plays Pasha Kela, it's a gambling, a dice and pieces that you move on a board. Board is shaped like this, like a cross. Pasha Kela board. It's like this, and you move like over this, like this, like this. And when she plays Krishna, then she usually defeats Krishna most every time. But then he cheats and throws the board up like this. She defeats him, and then Krishna goes, ah! You have to throw again, because he sees it. She throws the number 10. Boxcar is 10-10 or whatever it is. Boxcar 10 and 10. Dice have how many? 10? 6. That's the maximum number. 4, 2, 2, 3, 4.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
This is it. This is a type of wrong side of the This is the is the program start now. Program is not in competition. I'm telling you, that maximum. 7:20 for 30 o'clock reception. 11 to 7. 50 induction. 5 p.m. voting by 6 to 7. Like you know, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Vladimir Shakti. What? Vladimir Shakti. Vladimir Shakti. Vladimir Shakti. Vladimir Shakti. Tudo bem? Tudo bem. Ela. Atrás. Muito. Nossa, também muito. Super bem esposa. Vê se a latinha aparece. Fingindo. Detalhes, mano. Esposa. Então. Ai, Maharaj. Quanto tempo. Que bom, meu senhor. Yes. Sim, ela agora. Sim, sim. Você tá morando até. Grandona. Outra pessoa. Guitarreira. Obrigado. Da última vez que meus filhos, eu estava com 6 meses de gestação. Last time we saw you, she was pregnant 6 months. Tem tempo. Da última vez que eu vi que ele veio ao Brasil, eu fiquei muito presente de abrigar ele com o Xixi. Last time you came here, I was very interested in deciding to accept the e queria saber se ele ia falar com esse meu pai pegava missões dentro da festa. My dash, allow me to ask for your blessings. One family. É tudo da sua família. Thank you very much. Nós também estamos felizes. Eu chego, eu preciso muito grande sacrifício para a vida. Vai ser
La última vez que lo dijeron, yo también tengo que seguir la Luciano Maharaj, aqui no Brasil. Nos conhecemos em 2009 no seminário de Campina Grande. So many years that we know you since 2009 we seminar in Campina Grande. Dona Nata Brahmachari. Dona Nata, de Coisa da Rocha, Brahmachari ainda. Para nós, está ficando nos Estados Unidos agora. He went there in June. Foi lá, eu junho. Então ele veio para nos conhecer, para ficar conosco. É uma pessoa muito querida. Very beloved. Same. Muito bom secretário na época, campeão de sangue. Mestre também. Ensinando a cultura nos Estados Unidos.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I kept all of you left with it. We travel. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Danut Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Thank you for remain always.
Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Gurudev.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev.
Hare Hare. Oh, see you later.
Hare Bo, Hare Krishna, Jai Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much once again. Because of